Your brain isn't a passive receiver. It's an active sculptor, shaped by every piece of content you consume. While everyone obsessed over physical diet, most successful people are ruthlessly curating their mental diet because they understand that inputs determine outputs. What are you feeding your brain? Right now, the average person consumes 34 gigabytes worth of information daily, equivalent of 100,000 words. And 87% of it is negative, fear-based, or irrelevant noise that literally rewriting your neural pathways towards anxiety and reactivity. Neuroscience research shows that constant exposure to negative content increases cortisol levels, reduces cognitive performance within 2 weeks of hitting that. How much mental junk food are you consuming daily? Uncurated content diet creates brains wired for distraction, negativity, and reactive thinking rather than focus, possibility, and strategic action, systematically degrading our decision-making capability over time. People who fail to curate the information they intake experience higher anxiety levels, lower goal achievement rates compared to those who deliberately control their entire mind. Every hour of toxic content, doom scrolling, or mental junk food you consume is physically restructuring your brain's neural networks away from the patterns that enable success, ensuring you think smaller, react faster, and achieve less because your mind has been trained by uncontrolled diet of information designed to trigger rather than transform. This is one of the hardest things I do, is to curate only certain bits of information that come into my head. I can't do it all. All of the social media networks flashing that stuff up and drawing me in doesn't help what I need to do. What we do is create things out of whole cloth. I'm a firm believer that entrepreneurs are alchemists. We create things out of the ideas in our heads. If those ideas are distorted or held back or changed because of the constant negativity and misinformation and biased views that come via all social media networks, no matter what side you're on or what you're viewing, it becomes a challenge. We take in tremendous amounts of data and our brain begins to use it, to mold it, to craft it. So one of the greatest things I ever did was basically shut off my TV. I shut off my TV almost 15 years ago. I have internet, obviously. I can watch some movies, obviously, but I can't watch news. I can't watch commercials. I don't get involved in any of that stuff. And that has made a huge difference. Now, one of the interesting things is like when I'm out and my son's favorite pizza place actually has a TV on in the background, and I have to sit with my back to it because I don't watch commercials, and therefore I'm not immune to them like most people are. I get fascinated by them, and I get distracted. Dear friends of ours invite us up, and they usually have a TV in the background, and I have literally been in the middle of a conversation, seen a commercial, and got distracted. So my official seat now is with my back towards the TV because of that. Because of that, I can also watch commercials and see what they're doing. It's fascinating and I love to do it. But I do not consume all of the negativity that exists there. My job is to see the possibility. And if I'm hearing everyone talking about the negativity, talking about what needs to be done, talking about all the things that could go wrong, that's a challenge. We are built to worry about things because it has made sure we live and survive. But this is not an advantageous situation for people that are builders and dreamers, for people who want to get work done. We have to step up and create, and therefore maintaining exactly what information comes into our head and how it comes in and who is telling us that is vital to our ability to get things done. If you look at people now, they are willy-nilly taking information in and assuming it's all correct and finding out later that it may have not been. And how has that already changed the way you think, your brain, and your activities? Being very careful who you talk to, who you're around, and where you're getting your information is probably one of the great secrets to my success worldwide, no matter where I live. Whether it was in England or Japan or Africa, taking that information and understanding what's going in and what's coming out is one of those things that allows me to do what I need to do. We are able to take ideas and create entire businesses. The alchemy of entrepreneurship is one of those fascinating things, but we cannot do that if we A, don't have the right information, B, have that information that has been tainted, or we hear the negative all the time. We have the ability to get this done. We have the ability to create, but if we continue to hear it's not possible, or we're going into recession, or anything negative about that, we have a tendency to change our view, and our view needs to be as clear as possible. Changing the way we see, changing what you hear and consume on a regular basis is important. We all fall into the traps, but if you can clean that as much as possible, it works better. I stopped reading newspapers. This drove my mother crazy. She read 3 newspapers a day. But as soon as I stopped reading them, I recognized that she had an incredibly biased attitude towards a lot of information that had nothing to do with the newspapers, but had everything to do with the world itself. And it was somewhat negative. Now, this could have been just my mother, but I noticed that the people reading the newspapers and consuming the information were more distracted, were less interested, were less focused. I find that if I have to go on social media, I'm less focused the rest of the day. Now, we all know that that is by intention. So imagine all of these people who get up and the first thing they do is look at the social media. What's happening to them? What's happening to you? How are you protecting your information processor, the most valuable piece of equipment we have? How are you feeding what it needs to know, opposed to what it's getting now? One of my great tricks is if I have something that I'm really working on, I think about it just before I go to bed, and I let my subconscious work on it. And I expect to have an answer in the morning. And more often than not, I do. If the last thing I'm doing is something negative or destructive, I don't get the same answer. It's really interesting. So what do you do to figure out what information you should put in your head? What sources do you use that create higher degrees of assuredness that you're getting the right information? We never get it 100% because everyone's story is different. Put that in the information below, and I'd love to have this continue the conversation. One of my favorite things is to read The Economist. It's deep, and they spend the time to do it. What's yours? I look forward to continuing our conversation.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode on The Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained.